Welcome back to Pole Barn Garage, where we are back on the ultra rare Pontiac 2+2 with 428 HO power. We did a video on reviving this car last year. We kind of delved into the history on it. It's super cool. It's an ex-cop car or sheriff's car or something like that. We did quite a bit of work to it, and then life got in the way and I got busy, and so far it's just kind of sat. What we need to do this time is make the car better. We need to make it run and drive better. I mean, it runs now, but we need to make it reliable. We also got to get some exhaust on it. We got to make the brakes work better. I believe we have the wrong master cylinder on it, and that's making all kinds of problems. And I also have some interior work to do as well. Quick recap, it is a Pontiac 2+2 with 428 HO power. Any 2+2 came with a 342 geared 10-bolt posi in the back, turbo 400 automatic in this one. What makes it odd is that it is a 2+2, so it of course has bucket seats, but it has no console. It has a column shift, and that's factory. I've gotten the factory window sticker reproduced through PHS, and you can see here it's a pretty bare bones car. It's got all the go fast goodies and not much else. One other thing the car needs is two tires. Two of the tires go flat constantly. They are 8-lug wheels, however, so they take a special adapter ring to change a tire. And I have since acquired one of those adapters, and we should be able to pull that off. And since the last time you've seen it, I have done a little bit of work. Not much. The air cleaner lid's on upside down because my stud is incorrect, but I did have the original Quadrajet rebuilt, completely restored, and it's pretty good. It doesn't run exactly right. We may have to fiddle with it a little bit. This is the HO 428 with the factory cast iron header type manifold. We have the angled oil filter housing to get it out of the way of things, 670 heads, 10 3/4 to 1 compression, 376 horsepower. This thing runs like a striped ass ape. But one other thing it does is it does run pretty hot. I think the water pump is shot. I don't think I ever even looked at it. If it's a modern replacement water pump, it could have a stamped steel impeller, and that doesn't work good on Pontiac. They don't like it at all. So I've picked up a really high quality replacement. I figure while we do that, we may as well give it a flush, get the whole cooling system cleaned out, and that's a good place to start. I'm not worried about the radiator being full of stuff because it's a new aluminum radiator, but the engine could be full of crud. And if we're going to be opening up the cooling system anyways, we may as well flush it out. And adding a little chemical flush to it, you know, if there's a bunch of rust and gunk and stuff in the engine, helps. And for that, lately what I've been using is this drive-in flush from MOTOR PURR. I just used this in the Cadillac, and we're just about to leave for duct tape drags. It got some gunk out of that thing. This stuff is kind of cool. You just pour it in, run the car for 30 minutes and drain it. Or drive it for like a couple of days, basically. And you put it in as a powder, and then let it do its thing. You can save 10% on your MOTOR PURR stuff. I got a link down in the description. You check it out. I'll put it on the screen too. Top it off with water. When we drove this thing in that video, it did get warm. It didn't overheat. It was just the factory temp gauge did not look very happy. Oh. It smells like straight up sulfur coming out of there. Yeah, it's nasty looking. It ain't good. And nasty smelling too. When it smells nasty, that's when you know you're really in for a treat. Oh, this fan clutch is completely roached. And I can see the water pump bearing is moving really badly back and forth. I figured I should check this before I got it hot. And yeah, both are bad. Let me get a new fan clutch on the order as well. Get a fan going on it. Try to help keep it cool so it can run long enough for that flush to circulate. Damn thing runs really good, so
I don't think there's anything majorly wrong with it. While I let this run, I'm digging through it, looking at the parts I've had stashed in it. This is the thing we need to mount tires. And I bought a voltage regulator and 2 master cylinders for some reason. I forgot. And apparently I've installed a water feature. That's lovely. While we're at it, I may as well put some MOTOR PURR tune-up through this thing. Got to feed this stuff in through a vacuum line. Just a little at a time. Hardly anything came out of that. I don't think it's very dirty inside, but it can't hurt. Now I've got just a little bit of this tune-up left. And you know what this is? It's got toluene in it. You can use that, kind of turn your regular gas into race gas. Just a little bit will help out a high compression engine. I don't think that's how they advertise it, but that's what I've been using it for with pretty good results. Let's check on our temperature. It's fine. It's sitting at like 160 and just hanging out there, so maybe we don't have an overheating problem, but I swear I remember it running hot. I think we need to open the floodgates back here. Obviously, I did far too good of a job fixing the floors. There we go. Perfect. It literally never tried to get hot. I've had it sitting here idling for half an hour. I'm gonna let it cool off and then we'll flush it with water, fill it up with coolant, change the water pump, all that good stuff. Been a few hours. I'm draining the radiator. And now we're gonna flush it with water, back flush. You can see here I'm flushing through the radiator, through the back of the engine, out of one of the heater lines. Just kind of let it do its thing, and then I'll flush from there, forward, etc., etc. Now we'll let it run a little bit. Make sure it all circulates. It looks very clean. Looks totally fine. Alright, let me get this fan shroud out of the way. Then we can work our way down to the water pump. I got kind of a late start at it today. We went to supper and I'm pretty full. So I may just pull this off and we'll just jump back on it tomorrow. Also, I've been all over the Midwest buying cars the last few days. So that's why this video is a little late. Oh yeah. Yeah, see that? That's not ideal. Alright, I'll take the fan off, and then we'll call it a night. Alright, back to work today. Let's get this water pump off. See how nasty it is. Pretty rusty looking bolts. Oh yeah. Come on. Will you play nice, damn it? There we go. Yeah, that looks like something from a shipwreck. Look at the barnacles and algae. Whew. That's the smell. Now on Pontiacs, you have the diverter plate, this guy. And on 67 only, I believe, you have two. This guy, and then this guy. We'll clean all this stuff up. We're not going to throw away this water pump either, even though it is bad. The bearing's got some slop in it. It could be rebuilt. And I'm not enough of a Pontiac nerd to tell you for sure, but it might be the original one for the car. And if it is, it's worth a few bucks. It does have a GM part number on it, so we'll see. You can see the weep hole is actually plugged up with shit, and that's a good sign there. It was probably trying to bypass water, but it couldn't. Clean up this mess in the timing cover first. Got our diverter plates cleaned up real nice. Nothing else we got to do with these other than just put them into the timing cover. And then this water pump comes with 2 gaskets, and I'm going to guess that you are to use the gaskets to help set your impeller depth. So we'll start with one and then basically just see if we feel it grinding. And if we do, then we'll go to 2 gaskets. Here's the water pump we're going to be using. It is a flow cooler water pump. Look at that impeller. It's a monster. I've heard really, really good things about these. Never used one myself, so we'll try it out. But on a Pontiac, I know since you really can't get a cast iron impeller water pump anymore, this is the go-to for a Pontiac. I'm going to install it dry first, just so I can get a feel for the impeller, make sure it's not going to rub. Feels fine. So 1 gasket it is. Then I'm going to pop it back off, and we're going to put a really thin coat of RTV on the timing cover and a really thin coat on the water pump. This timing cover is in excellent condition, but a lot of times they're pitted and things like that, and you've only got 3/8 of an inch of sealing surface there. So if you have too many pits on it, it's going to leak. And just a little bit of RTV, make sure that doesn't happen. I like Right Stuff as an RTV. Not much. We don't want to go overboard here. Just a thin coat. Get our water pump stuck on here. Good thing I always keep a couple cans of this on hand. This new lift from wildfireslift.com makes a hell of a good workbench. More on that later. Get that off there. Always change a fan clutch if it feels crappy. It'll kill a water pump real quick. The old clutch is actually much smaller than the new one. Very, very important that you torque your fan clutch appropriately. We'll finish our assembly. Well, hopefully we've done some good here. Get the cooling system all refreshed. Might as well put a new belt on. I even bought a real one, a Gates, since it is the only belt on the whole engine. Fill this thing up and burp it. And my anti-spill funnel doesn't clamp on. What the hell? Fill her up with actual antifreeze this time. I know, big spender, sure have changed. It's still from the farm store and it's still $6 a gallon. Don't worry. Let's fire it up and let it burp and puke. Is burping, is making big mess. She idled here, burped all the air out of it, didn't explode and didn't overheat. That's a win. Up next, let's try to make the brakes work a little better. I'm not really sure why they don't work very good, but I'm going to guess it's the master cylinder, so let's start there. If I recall, it was new on the car when I got it, and then I just kind of ignored it, did the rest of the brakes, and well, I mean, they work, but they're spongy, I got a couple others, apparently. I forgot I even bought them. You know how it goes. I'm going to take this one off, see if I see anything wrong with it. It's very possible it's just the wrong master cylinder. Also, look at this. Note how I'm taking off the lines, and there's no fluid coming out of it. Is there fluid in it? Yeah, totally full of brake fluid. Kind of makes you wonder if they didn't bench bleed it, or maybe I didn't bench bleed it. I don't know. Either way, we'll just start fresh. Here's the old master cylinder. I can literally see air bubbles inside of it. Like, I kind of think it just didn't get bench bled. This one is another one I got. This one's for power brakes, though. It has a deeper pocket for the push rod, so that's not going to work. But this dude In the middle here, he's the right one for sure. So I'm just going to swap it anyway, even though it's the exact same thing. We'll bench bleed it really well, and then pop it on the car. Then we'll have to re-bleed the brakes, but hopefully this takes care of it. Did I do this last week? Yes, I did. I think this is at least 3 months in a row of me bench bleeding master cylinders. I do some really exciting content around here, let me tell you. Alright, I like to go ahead and get my lines tight, then I'll tighten the master cylinder down. Let's see if it feels like we have any brakes. No, they're all gone. That's terrific. Usually you swap the master cylinder and you got a little air in the lines, but you know, they still work with a few pumps. This made them just go away. Actually, she's gravity bleeding pretty good, so I always have the best luck. If they can gravity bleed, I just let them. You just let it drip and let it flush through there, and that's the easiest way to do it, and I don't got to bother Jess. All the brakes bled out really well, and the brakes still suck. I'm not sure they even work anymore, so that's cool. Maybe they're just out of adjustment. They don't really seem to pump up. It just, you know, the pedal just sucks. But they don't pump up. Maybe they're just that far out of whack. I don't know. But I tell you what, I'm putting it on the lift to do that. My new Wildfire lift, wildfirelifts.com. Check it out. This thing was super easy to assemble. Me, my cousin Aaron, and JD put this thing together in less than 5 hours. Pretty dang good. Pickup super easy. Just grabbed my car trailer and went and picked it up at the freight terminal. I'm a big fan. Obviously, I've never had a lift before. This thing is unreal, as far as I'm concerned. And the Wildfire lift is just like a little extra goodness to it, right? I mean, it's fully boxed runways. The whole thing is just overbuilt. I'll tell you, the thing is super heavy, like unbelievably heavy. Definitely have a buddy to help you put it together, but if you got a buddy there, you can do it yourself. You don't even got to bolt the thing down. In fact, it's mobile. I have not used the casters yet because I haven't had a reason to move it, but it comes with casters that you can clip onto it, and then you just move the lift around with it. It's easy. But anyway, enough of that. Let's get the car on the lift, and let's try it out. This is the first time I've actually worked on it. Hopefully it's got some brakes, otherwise this might get interesting. Oh, they're better. They're actually a lot better. Just the pedal feels like crap. I'm a newbie at this, so don't judge me. Glad I got the Wildfire XLT. She's rated for 9,000 pounds, so this isn't even going to come close to its max capacity, but this is a big-ass car, so I'm glad for the extra overkill capacity. I do highly recommend you run this through a dedicated 30-amp circuit, and that's what I've got going on here, just like an RV plug. This just tickles me to death. It's going to save my back. As much as I hate to admit it, it's definitely going to hurt a lot less at the end of the day with this. That's incredible. I don't even know what to think right now. Also got the bridge jack with the Wildfire lift, which kind of helps out the disadvantages of a 4-post lift where, you know, you can't get to the wheels, right? Well, you can. With the bridge jack, slide it back, it's air powered, lift it up, and then you can serve as suspension parts. You get the safety of the 4-post lift, which I really like, and
you can still use it more or less as a 2-post lift.
Another thing I got from Wildfire was the underlift lighting.
Basically rope light with magnets on it, but very convenient and really good magnets. So I like that. I mean, look at, you can see the whole underside of the car. You can see the butchery going on here, courtesy of me. You can see all the self-tappers that are about to impale my head. I've never been able to walk under a car before. Oh, look how I can do the exhaust. It's right here. Oh my gosh. I am one lucky bastard. Looky there. Transmission mount's bad. I would have never known that. How bad is it? It's not that bad. We can ignore it, but at least we know. How about U-joints? They're fine and original. We'll be leaving that alone. Now I can roll a wheel and adjust the brake at the same time. Just judging by how good those roll, I don't think I got the brakes adjusted right. For the first time ever, I can actually show you adjusting brakes. This is incredible. And through this little window here, we can get to the brake adjuster. I'm going to take my brake adjusting tool and try to run the star wheel out. Click, 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 and basically I'm going to roll it. I'm already hearing it touch the drum, but I want to feel just a little bit of resistance on the wheel, and then I just kind of let the car wear in the other, little bit. That's not how you're supposed to do it, but that's the way I do it. I've clicked this 4 or 5 times, so it's possible that the brakes were out of adjustment. It's not free spinning near as much. Okay, let's lower this. I think I got the fronts quite a bit better. They were definitely out of adjustment, so that might make all the difference. So we just lower this dude, just like that. I think. Oh gosh. Okay, I made a big mistake. I forgot that this actually has a lock on it. You're supposed to use that. I didn't. There we go. That's better. Okay, so I just tested out the safety lock mechanism of the bridge jack. It works great. If you just release all the pressure off of it, it will catch itself and not kill you. Thank you, Wildfire, for this. God. I don't know how good of an idea this is. There we go. You can just barely get to the adjusters on these. What a delight. Where are you? In there somewhere. We're getting there. It's a couple of clicks. A little harder to do this when you got a posi because it's moving both drums, so just got a feel for it. Have a good feel for what you're doing. So do it a few clicks and then check it, and the minute you feel it kind of starting to do something is probably about right. I'm surprised they haven't self-adjusted, but maybe they haven't been working good enough to do that yet. Oh yeah, I'm doing something. It's getting there. It's getting there. Right. Woo, way up here. Oh, huge difference. Yeah. We got decent brakes now. Yeah. So I think that master cylinder probably was bad. Or not bad, but not bled properly. That combined with misadjusted brakes. Bad news. That was a big one crossed off. Cooling system and brakes are done. It's now a bad time to mention that I'm terrified of heights. Easy does it now. Yep. There we go.
This right here is what I have been waiting to use a lift for my whole life. Exhaust. How many cars I've taken had exhaust put on them, I probably could have bought the damn lift. This is gonna be a game changer. Now for this car here, I got the lead pipes from Ram Air Restorations. Unfortunately, Paul, the guy who ran it over there, he died earlier this summer. Thankfully, I had bought these lead pipes for the factory HO manifolds on this car. They fit perfect, as you can see. He sold all kinds of stuff like this for Pontiacs only. It's terrible that Paul is gone, but he's irreplaceable. Nobody has filled his shoes, and nobody probably will. He was my go-to for many, many, many years for Pontiac exhaust parts, and now he's gone. So I mean, you know, don't take people for granted, I guess. You never know. And before I go trying to just ramrod these pipes on here, I probably ought to at least run a tap through these manifolds, you think? Clean them up a bit. Looks like that one's been drilled out. That'll need a bolt and a nut. That one may also. Hell, they all may need bolts and nuts, but thankfully it looks like you can do that on this. They're all got plenty of room on the back side of them. Yeah, I'll clean these up with a tap before we bolt them on. These manifolds are worth big bucks. It's very cool that they're still here. Basically factory headers, and they perform just about as good. You gotta rotate this up where it lines up with the cross member. Just tighten her down. Not too tight for now, just snug. We may have to make some adjustments yet, but this will get us on our way for sure. Something like that, probably. Got the lead pipes on. Then I realized that I may or may not have left all my exhaust pipe outside for the last God knows how long. Oh well. It's all good. You know, the good thing is, if it's going to rub on the floor right there, all I got to do is beat the floor out of the way. I mean, this might surprise you, but these floors may not be the same shape that they originally were. Fixed. I got to see if these mufflers I got will work. They are like Chinese turbo mufflers. I chose them for no particular reason other than I had two of them laying around. And it looks like an offset muffler would probably do me a little bit better. I'd really like to do this without buying another pair of mufflers, so I'm going to roll with these things and we'll just see what happens. I think I need more than this much room between the axle to make a bend there. So I'm going to cut this straight pipe down. Probably like, right there. Looks good to me. I think that's about right. I'm going to go ahead and clamp it to our lead pipe. What? Don't look at me like that. I said I was doing exhaust, not that I was doing good exhaust. Perfect weld, 360 baby. Well, not having an offset muffler is probably going to make this a little more difficult than it needs to be, but I think I can still pull it off. All we got to do is get up and over, right? Make sure it doesn't run into the springs, shocks, rear end, gas tank, tires, car. Easy, piece of cake. I don't know what I've been paying someone to do this for all these years. I was going to tell you the God's honest truth. I'm kind of stupid. So when it comes to like geography or whatever, I'm not very good at it. You know, this 90 degree I got here, it may work like as is if I can get it in the dang muffler. Come on now, get in there. Don't be shy. There we go. All right, yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, look at there. We're going up. We're injecting exhaust right into the cabin. Yeah, hell yeah. Now what we got to do is get a U like this dude. Not a U like this. Well, it's, you know, like this. To bring it back down on the other side of the axle, obviously I'm going to have to cut this. I guess I'll just guess. That seems like what you do. I mean, if you're like pro exhaust guy, I've seen them. They don't measure anything. They just do it, you know. Oh, wow. That's not cut straight at all. Let me do that again. I mean, looky there. Looks like a P-trap under a toilet, but it also kind of looks like a tailpipe, or the beginnings of one. Can get it more like that, but just take a little bit more out of this U right here. And I think it'll probably line up pretty good. I'll have to kick it over and run it out along the frame rail. Easy. I think that's it. It's pretty good, although the pipe is kind of, it's definitely going to rub on the floor up front, but this part looks good. All right, I'm going to tack the U-bend to the 90 where I want it, and then we'll pull it out and fully weld it, because Lord knows I am not good enough to try and weld that on the car. Where I tack it is where it shall remain. We don't go backwards here on Pole Barn Garage. Oh no. Ow. 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 Yes, it is tacked. Ow. And I am singed. Well, we have a slight problem. I can't get it out. And I clamped the muffler on, and well, it's stuck now. So this is just in here forever, I think. I don't, yeah, no, there's no way. I guess I'm gonna have to get good at welding above my head. And at least it's after the muffler, I guess. How do y'all like my custom exhaust supporter there, huh? Anywho, I like where this one's going. In fact, I'd pretty much call this done. We just got to hang it, and I'll have to make some adjustments, you know, to make sure it's not rubbing. But I like that. This is exactly what I wanted. You know, just kicking it out. I don't really want it visible. This side, however, you can tell the angle coming out of the muffler is way more severe for some reason. Now, I can force it over, but I got to get some hangers to do that with. And I don't have any hangers, so I have to wait till tomorrow and buy some of those. Absolutely no way I would have made it this far if it wasn't on a lift. Today's video is brought to you by AGZ. It's 7 in the morning right now, and I have just popped up out of bed, feel good. And I think a lot of that has to do with AGZ. I'd been taking AGZ every night for about a month and a half now, and my quality of sleep has improved. This stuff, it doesn't like force you to fall asleep. It helps you chill out, relax. The quality of my sleep is better. It's like I'm actually getting rest. I stay up late, I get up early, and I need to make the most of those few hours of sleep I get. This does a good job of that, and I don't wake up feeling like I got ran over by a bus. I take it about an hour to an hour and a half before bed. By the time about an hour rolls around after you drink it, you just, start to feel relaxed. You're ready for bed. Use my link, drinkag1.com/polebarngarage. You can check the link in the description. You can scan this QR code if you want. And you're going to get a free frother, a little mixy, spinny thing. It's good stuff. I wouldn't recommend it to you if it wasn't. So, hey, check out that link, scan the code, and let's get back to work. You like it there?
Let me check. Yeah, that's looking good.
Look at that stack of dimes, huh? Huh? More like a pile of chicken shit. Got JD climbed up in there, fired it up. I say hit it. That sounds good. I got hit with a bunch of shit out of the exhaust.
Oh.
We got a little leak. Rev it up.
Sounds pretty good.
That sounds really good.
Yeah.
I think I need to tighten the flanges a little
Okay.
bit. Just a little tick up there. Motor's quiet though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You hear that motor sounds really good. Oh, that's terrifying. Hell, that exhaust sounds good.
Yeah, it does.
I'm happy with that. That's a free exhaust system, more or less. Well, we're getting close to getting this damn thing, well, kind of daily drivable. And I'm excited as hell about that. We got to change 2 tires on it. 2 tires go flat, and I'm guessing it's the rim is probably rusty or something. So we're going to have to do that, and I want to do it ourselves so that we can, well, figure out what's going on. Also, I think we have to because they are 8-lug wheels, and ain't no tire shop to know what to do with these things. So we'll just have to do it ourselves and maybe put some balance beads in the tires to balance them. Worth a shot. But before I do that, I have a new steering wheel for the car. The steering wheel on the car is missing its translucent, lucite, grip. I got this steering wheel from my buddy Larry off of his 2+2, and it's not great, but it's better than what I got. And I'm going to try to fill in the missing parts with this mysterious resin I got off of Temu. And I figured we probably ought to get this process started so it can cure, and then I can sand and form and do whatever I got to do to make this a steering wheel again. And then we'll do everything else. When we come back to it, it should be dry. I know what we should do is probably start over and start fresh, but I don't really know how to do it. So this is just kind of a learning experience for me. If I can fill these cracks and it works, then maybe eventually I'll be confident enough to try to redo the whole wheel with resin. I know that's what people use. So what I'm going to do is make a mold out of masking tape to attempt to keep the resin where I want it. Is that how you do it? I don't know. You mix this stuff 50-50, it says. You got bottle A and bottle B. I mean, at least those are in the English alphabet. The rest of the bottle's not. Why did I do that? All right, 50-50. It's pretty thick. Maybe it'll hang in there better than I thought. Pro tip, don't spill it. You learned it here. I got it all over my face, and if I die in the next 6 months, you guys will know why. I can't do anything. I'm not allowed to. I'm not allowed to just, do something normally. No. No, something horrible has to happen. Every time. Anyway, we got her mixed up 50-50. I'm going to stir. Yes. Hi, fish. I'm just going to let this keep flowing in here until it builds up enough for me to, I guess you sand it and polish it later, once it's cured. Oh, it's about to runneth over my masking tape. Need something better than masking tape for sure next time, but we're learning. Okay. If it sets up quickly, it'll be fine. The masking tape doesn't do a very good job of holding the resin in place, as you can see, but it's work. It's in there. Well, this is a complete failure. Yeah, I'm going to take all this off, clean it off while I still can, and try something else. Let's try it this way. Got some foil. Maybe we take the foil. We're just going to make like a little, basically a cylinder around the wheel. This stuff is not setting up very fast, by the way, which I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. I'm going to pour into my mold of foil here. This is going to work great. Kind of tape my foil together here and it'll hold that shape. Actually, it seems to be doing it on its own. I think this may be a thing. This would be better, actually, now that I think of it, if I had made a tray out of the foil, dip the wheel into it, the whole top half of it, and just do the whole thing at once, I think would be easier than trying to fix the cracks. There. That'll get the bad part. I don't know if we're going to be able to get this little crack over here, but that's all right. If we can't, we can't. All right, let's just let that hang out. Let's change some tires in the meantime. So these are Pontiac 8-lug wheels. What you see here is basically the drum, and then the rim is a very thin rim that bolts to the aluminum brake drum. They used this setup for quite a while. I think, through 1968. It was fairly common. It's not a super rare option. It was better than a regular steel drum brake because they're aluminum and finned. They dissipate heat fairly well. If you wanted extra stopping power, this is what you went with. You see, it's not your average wheel. And the way you have to mount the tires and dismount them is also not ordinary. You have to use this. I had to buy this from Ames Performance. This is a reproduction of what the car originally would have had. Every one of the 8-lug cars comes with this plate to bolt to a wheel like this. This way, a tire shop could use a center post tire mounter to remove the wheel, and theoretically, so you can balance the wheel. I don't trust this to balance a wheel. I don't think that would work very well, and everything I've heard from old guys says it doesn't work very well. The only good way to balance it is an on-car balancer, and that doesn't exist anymore, so we're just going to use this to break the tire down. And then we'll put balance beads in instead. Should be able to put this on my tire mounter. I can see rust on the bead already, so I'm going to replace the two that go flat and leave the other two alone. These tires are like brand new, but they're flat spotted. So what we'll do is we'll put the two that we're not putting new tires on, we'll put them on the back, choose Positrack, do a couple good burnouts, they'll be round again, and two new tires for the front. Cleaned off the rim. It wasn't rusty at all, but it kind of looked like they put a bunch of monkey snot on there, and then it set up wrong. It's not rusty in the least bit. I don't think it needs monkey snot. Easy peasy. We're going to be putting balance beads in the tires to balance them. There's a couple ways to do it. You can get a big tub and scoop them in and just try to like toss them in there with the tire broke down. I think that's kind of messy, and I always get them wedged between the bead and the rim. This other way I have never tried, but basically you get a little tube, right? And then it looks like the little BB holder you use to fill up your Red Ryder. You just fill it up through the valve stem. And obviously you pull the valve core out, which we've done anyway, and then somehow install the beads. Wow, that works tremendous. They won't come out. What the hell? Maybe it needs to have a little bigger hole on the end of it. There we go. Okay, yep, made a huge mess. and they're not going in the valve stem at all. Yeah, they will not pass through the valve stem. This is what we're learning. Okay, so that doesn't work at all. Don't do that. Look, they don't even fall out of the tube it comes with. They just stay and stick to the sides. Alright, well, since that's obviously not going to work, let's just dump them in there. Like that. Get as many of them in there as we can. Recommended was 3 ounces for this size tire. That was a 4-ounce bottle, so, you know, probably. But see how they get stuck on the damn bead? That's what I don't like. Like, you wipe it off as best you can, I guess, but they're tiny and a mess, and they go everywhere. There she goes. Well, it never hurts to try something new, I guess, but it just didn't work for us that time. I sprayed her down with soap. I don't see any bubbles. Maybe we're good. Hope so. Let's reset up and we'll do another one. I'm going to mount a tire on the spare from the car just to eliminate one wheel as a problem. But that one's good to go back on. If you want to help a bead seat, just grab your tire, bounce that sucker like a basketball a few times. That'll force that bead to seat. If it's a little off, I mean, it's not going to work a miracle, but it actually did the trick on that one. It was leaking, and now it's not. Well, our tires are done. I did not put balance beads in the rear tires because I figure it doesn't matter. And, I'm kind of lazy, but not too lazy to not rebuild the entire underside of this car. And I've realized with this lift, I have a newfound power. I can rebuild 100% of a car. 360 degrees of rebuilding. Unbelievable. I never thought this day would come. The technology these days, it amazes me. Think of the amount of rebuildings I can do now. I can rebuild everything. New control arms on 360 degrees worth of new control arms. I can install a new frame instantly. I can rebuild this rust hole. I can rebuild the self-tappers poking through the floor. New drive shaft, done. Yes! The power of the rebuild is getting to me. That's a significant improvement. It looks better. I even, rebuilt the exhaust pipes. I also rebuilt a lot of my face and my sinuses and my arm hair and my hair and everything. Oof. Whew. Well, anyway, now that I'm sufficiently blasted, let me go ahead and operate machinery. This lift is awful easy to operate, which I'm very glad of that because I can only handle so much complexity, you know. The Wildfire lifts are Dalton rated. I mean, you do not have to be an Einstein to figure these things out. Well, let's get the seats out of here and do some upholstery magic. And, thankfully, I've already had them out, so they should come out fairly easily. Took me quite a while to get the upholstery for this. Had to be custom made, but it wasn't terribly expensive. That's one thing I just can't stand. I can't stand raggedy ass seats, you know. Let's see what we can do. I know the frames are real rusty, and you know we're just gonna have to work with what we got here. It's not, it ain't gonna be perfect, but it can be good enough. Oh boy, big old girl. Come on. Come on now. God damn. Yuck. Oh boy, what a mess. I forgot how rusty the back of this car is. I need to forget again. I know I'm supposed to be working on the seats, but I got distracted by the shotgun rack. you know, I got to put this in. It even came with self-tappers. I mean, it was meant to be. If you'll recall from the first video on this car, we found mounting holes on the transmission tunnel where a shotgun rack and radios would have been, so I figured the least I could put back in is a shotgun rack. This shotgun rack is now structural. I'm honestly surprised that it comes with self-tappers. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not an expert, but that doesn't seem like the lock on this thing is very serious. And then they're just like, yeah, just screw it to the floor. Well, call me crazy, but I just didn't think that the self-tappers that went into the floor like half of an inch were going to be enough. I mean, it held it, and it gave me some pilot holes, but I mean, it's a gun rack. It just, I think bolting and nutting it with a couple of carriage bolts, maybe a little more secure. That's just bizarre to me that that's what it came with. Not that I'm going to be driving around with a shotgun all the time anyway, but when I do, I would like it to be secured. That's 1,000 times better. Much more secure. In my Winchester 1897 fits in it pretty well. Somewhere in there, I think. There. Then this locks. It's supposed to have a Remington 870 in it, but this will work for now. You know, gotta have my slam fire capabilities. Well, let's get started on these seats here. And I can tell you right now, it ain't gonna be fun. They are very rusty. The frames are in very poor condition. The springs are in very poor condition. Frankly, it needs a set of seats. I can promise you one thing, it'll be better than they are now, which is, you know, this one's kind of like a springboard. You know, you hit a bump and it kind of launches you into the headliner. I'm going to start by pulling off these trim panels that are barely hanging on to life. I mean, yeah, well, you know, maybe a coat of spray paint will help that out some. Getting the sucker split in half is a good chunk of the battle. Now we only have to do the hard part. Come on. You gotta get the latch assembly out of it. That way it can never work again. It's very important that you do that. Sizable mouse nest. That's where the seat went. At least they didn't have to move it too far to get home, you know. Foam I buy to reupholster stuff is just off of Amazon. You get this whole chunk of 2-inch foam, made in USA for 20 bucks. And 2-inch is pretty handy. It's kind of universal. I would rather have 1-inch for what I'm doing here, which I'll show you in a minute. I tried valiantly to supplement the existing seat foam with this 2-inch foam I had, but it ended up making the seat too thick and the cover wouldn't fit. So I had to resort to just using it to patch up a couple spots in the foam. Well, that wasn't going to work with this seat anyway. So what I ended up doing is I put a couple pieces in it to fill in the low spots and just putting the cover right over it. I wish I had bought seat foams, but I didn't. Making headway here. I got this about done, and it's not bad. What I ended up doing is trimming this foam in half and making it 1 inch so that it would supplement well, and this is pretty good, but what that tells me is I need to get some 1-inch foam tomorrow to do the rest of these, because this was probably in the best condition of all of them. So if this was this hard, the others are going to be worse. Well, that's done, and it doesn't look bad. It's okay. I can live with it. I'm rebuilding the seat back and the seat bottoms now. Little, you know, Krylon rebuild on those. The rust adds to the texture, you know. I'll probably go ahead and tear apart the seat bottom here, but I'm going to wait till I get my 1-inch thick foam, and then we can go ahead and finish that. Actually, I think the passenger seat is in better shape, so the passenger seat we may not have to do anything to. The foam in it is, I mean, it fell over. But it's actually, oh my God! Look what came out of that. Look what came out of that seat. It's just a wolf spider. He's just a wolf spider. No big deal. But my God, that's a big old wolf spider. That's good though. Them guys eat brown recluses, so you just do your job, man. All good. This whole seat frame is broken on the bottom here, rotted and broken apart, so I'm gonna take some mechanics wire, just wrap it up. Hope for the best, because we ain't buying a damn seat frame, at least not right now, maybe eventually. I'm gonna tie this all together, get it to where it's at least in one piece, kinda, and not poking through my new seat cover. That would be nice. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work fine. Ingenuity. Another day, losing another $1. I have successfully wired this whole seat together for the most part. One thing you could do if your springs are kind of wore out or your frame's really rusty, or you really probably shouldn't even sit on it, is just shove some foam in between the springs, and it'll keep it from being all squeaky and just terrible. That way it gives you the false sense that, yeah, you're actually sitting on something and you're not about to get a colonoscopy from a 50-year-old rusty piece of spring. The good thing about covering seats in the daytime is that I can let God give me a hand out there and have the sun kind of beat down on them and warm them up, makes them easier to work with. JD's out here tearing apart the back seat, what's left of it. Try to save all the springs you can.
Yeah.
We'll get him to pull the covers off and we'll see how much foam we're working with. I got enough foam now that we can definitely re-foam the rear seat. We're gonna have to patch the back of this passenger seat. I've got it sitting out there because it was just like soaking wet inside. Oh, good.
That's really bad.
That's really, really bad. Huh. There's not a damn thing left of that. All right, I'll tell you what we're gonna do. Rip all this off. And then there's supposed to be a whole other wire down here that these hook to. We don't have that, so.
Do you think we could wrap these around that?
Yeah, so take our mechanics wire and just tie each one.
Okay.
Tie these down first, and then tie these to those.
Yeah.
Then we'll just fill in the gaps with foam.
Okay.
See this hole here? That's where Fievel made a home once upon a time. Or it's either he made a home in here or he used this to make a home. What I'm gonna do is take out all the foam to the point where it's no longer disintegrating. This part's in good shape up here. We just kind of need to replace this, this general area. Then we take our new 1-inch foam. And start shaping it to fit, just like that. See that? You'll never know once the seat cover's on, although your lumbar might tell you. This one kind of come out ugly as sin. I mean, it's all right. I'm not very proud of it, that's for sure. Oh well, see, that's the thing. When you DIY stuff, sometimes it just don't work out. And that's fine. Do it better next time. I mean, we're working with junk, and we were able to make something that's at least usable. 3 out of 4 parts of the front seats turned out pretty nice, except for this one. And you know what? It's fine. I'm serious. I'm being totally sincere when I say it does not bother me. I know how this goes. I could sit here and fight this thing all day, and I might be able to make it a little bit better, but at some point you just got to say, all right, whatever, I'm done. Time to move on. We got lots more work to do. To say that I am out of my league here is an understatement. But we have no foam to work with in the back part of the back seat, so I'm just going to do the best I can. And just kind of shape this foam, I don't know, where it kind of needs to be with the cutout for the speaker and everything. I used the packaging that the foam came in to cover the springs with. You usually use burlap, but I don't have any, so that'll work. I'm working on this seat. It's actually coming along okay. This setup, really good. The foil is attached to it naturally. You want to go try to, I don't know, sand it?
Sand it down, grind it down or something.
Something.
Yep.
Don't go too far.
Yeah.
Then we'll sand the finger grooves and then we'll polish it, I guess. I don't know. Here, you take this.
Okay. I'm going to start off with the bench grinder here. I got it sanded down enough that I think I can get it with a hand sand for now. There's just spots I can't get to, so I'm going to have to hand sand it. One of these. It's going to take a while, but it'll work.
How's that going?
Going pretty good. There's the first hump.
I'll be damned. All right. The back seat's kind of... I didn't get around that speaker very good, but it's not that bad, I guess. Well, what I needed to do is put more foam around it, apparently. I'm going to try to wedge a little more in there and then throw it in the car.
Okay.
Well, that's better than it was. That's about all I can say. I forgot I need a package tray. I'll have to order one of those.
Oh, yeah.
But good enough for now.
Order one or make one?
We could make one out of plywood.
If we had some vinyl. I was thinking what we did on my car.
Yeah. Is yours cardboard or yours
Cardboard.
is wood? Or is it cardboard?
It's cardboard.
This rear window leaks so bad. I don't know if I want to do that. Probably ought to fix that first and then put it in. Oh, that's way better. Much, much better. Much, much better. Well, back in the old barn here, since this is now Bodywork HQ, JD was using a wire wheel on this steering wheel. I thought a DA might work a little better. It's a mess. This isn't going to work that great, but I think I learned enough to do it a lot better next time. Getting there, getting pretty close. I think I could do this for real. We'll try it on the next steering wheel. And by we, I mean Jess. To the point of hand sanding. I've hand sanded it with 40 grit to kind of shape it, and then 180 to smooth out the scratches. And now 320 grit to totally remove the scratches. And I know this isn't going to turn out exactly how it's supposed to be, but I'm just trying to see, like, if I sand it like this and then hit it with some polishing compound, you know, does it work? It's got finger grooves like the wheel. Right about now, you might be saying, Dalton, what are you doing? That seems incredibly dangerous. Why don't you use a benchtop polisher? Well, you are 100% correct, but I don't have a benchtop polisher. I actually ordered one. It'll be here at some point, but day late, dollar short. So, you know, this seems like it'll be fine. I can't imagine anything going wrong. Yes. It's working. Yes! You know, someday I'm going to end up losing an appendage, and you're going to see it right here on Pole Barn Garage. Please go to polebarnmerch.com to cover my future medical bills. Look at that. It's not perfect, but it kind of matches the rest of it. If I had a benchtop polisher, I could really make that work, but this will do for temporary. And then on Jess's channel, Jess Does Stuff, we'll probably try to restore the wheel on the car. Yeah, that's going to be significantly better than this steering wheel, which has nothing. Let me tell you, when this thing gets squirrely and you have nothing to grip, it's kind of terrifying. Yeah, this is one of them one-time use steering wheel pullers. They're rare.
I'd like to go drive this thing around some. JD gets out of school in about an hour. How about we go drive this thing up into town, fill it with gas, and grab a pack of smokes, and maybe hit the car wash. And by the time we get back, he ought to be home, and we can kind of go for a little cruise in it and see how she does. I'll probably leave the Winchester at home. Not that it's against the law here, because it's perfectly legal, but it's more trouble than I want to deal with. Got a little exhaust leak up front. I think it's a manifold gasket, but it's good enough for now. It's much quieter. The brakes are way better. Not bad. The brakes still suck because they're manual drums, but they work. They didn't really work before. It's cutting out. Maybe it's out of gas? I'm not super thrilled with this rebuilt, restored carburetor, I'm not gonna lie. Definitely doesn't run like I think it should. I haven't driven it down the road since I put it on, and I don't know, something's not right. The car's keeping its cool really well, and it's not doing too bad. It's just got a misfire. I think I need to throw a dwell meter on it when I get home, maybe. I don't know, let's see if the points are cool or not. Something's off. Something's really off. It's not running the way it was. Let's see if some fresh gas helps it out. It has been sitting for about a year. Everything's here and accounted for. It's not puking anything. It's not doing anything weird. Just don't get why it's misfiring like that. So we'll check the points with the dwell meter. Probably for the best. So it does have this kind of jury-rigged MOTOR ballast resistor too. Putting an HEI in this might be the ultimate move here. Wasn't very low on gas, so wasn't that. Can't be that bad, I guess. Well, let's wash the thing off anyway. I mean, obviously, we're going to paint it. It's not going to do any wonders, but I got a bunch of grass and crap I blew all over it when I was mowing, so let me rinse it off real quick. I'm pretty sure the Holy Goat leaks less than this car. Holy sh! That is all on the inside. Back window, same thing. Just freaking rains in the car. That means there's probably no metal left. Oh boy. Got our work cut out for us when it comes time to do the body work, that's for sure. Oh my God. There's not a dry spot in this car. That windshield, oh, the whole windshield is probably loose. Carpet's soaking wet. Great, now we have to go drive it around with the windows down just to dry it out. Good Lord. Well, ew. That 428 still sounds pretty good though. Oh yeah, those don't do anything at all. Cool. At least they work. I get on it, but I can't see at all. Doing a little better. Home, no problem. This temperature gauge barely comes off of the first tick now. That water pump must really do a number. That's pretty cool. Good oil pressure still, and I think it's charging and everything. Okay, well, not bad. I mean, the brakes are
much better. I'm very happy about that. Car drives great, doesn't shake anymore. That's all good. I almost drove off of the lift. I better practice that. I'm going to throw a dwell meter on it. Let's see what them points are doing. I mean, that's a good thing about a GM is you can adjust the dwell on the fly. Maybe we throw a timing light at it after we set the dwell, or check it anyway. This is a dwell meter. I've had this thing forever. I have a few of them. I'm pretty sure this one works. Take the black lead, ground it, take the red lead, and put it on the negative side of the coil, and that'll let you see a tach reading, and it'll give you a dwell reading. Dwell is how long the points stay together whenever they're closed and the condenser's building up before they discharge. So it's a degree of how long they're staying together. Optimal dwell on pretty much any V8 is about 30 degrees. So let's see if we have that. As you can see, my dwell meter works terrific. Let me try another one. So this meter works. You can see the dwell is about 28 degrees on the 8-cylinder setting. It should be about 30. So we can adjust that a little bit. There's a little window on the side of GM distributors that you can get an Allen head, or in this case, a flathead screwdriver in, and you can adjust your points that way. All right, what do we got? About there. Now we can tell that the points are probably all right because that's staying nice and steady. 30 degrees on the dot, and our timing is now 12 degrees. The engine sounds happier. Next thing I'm going to do is hook up a vacuum gauge, and we're going to use this to set the air mixture screws, or bleeds, or whatever you want to call them. We'll fire it up and see what it says. These 428 HOs have a pretty radical camshaft in it, so we're not going to see a traditional vacuum reading out of it, I doubt. 14 inches of vacuum. There we go. That's better. About 16 inches of vacuum. That's a lot better. I just took it down the driveway and it is running quite a bit better, but I'm going to see if we can make it even better. So I noticed that, it had about 16 inches of vacuum, which is okay and probably about typical for an engine with a lot of duration like this one. We know the timing was at 14 degrees according to the balancer. Let's tickle a couple degrees into it. And I'm trying to get this dang distributor hold down loose, and it's rusted. I don't think I ever messed with the timing on this thing, at least judging by the fact that everything is very frozen. There's a small mountain of corrosion around that distributor. I don't know if I'm going to be able to mess with this. It may just be where it's at. It's pretty rare to have this problem on a GM. Usually the distributor in the back kind of protects it, from corroding like this. I think the cowl vents on the hood might have been leaking directly onto the base of the distributor for the last 50 years or so. Clean it off as best I can. I'll soak it in some lube and we'll see if we get anywhere with that. I'm going to end up breaking the cap. This needs a pair of big pliers. Try to jar it loose. No. Okay, well, never mind. The timing's perfect. Like I was saying, it runs basically immaculate. And you know what? 14 degrees is probably fine anyway. It's a 10 3/4 to 1 compression engine, and gasoline today is not like it used to be, so if we don't want to be pinging our way everywhere, 14 is probably about it. I just didn't know if it was actually 14 or not. JD's here. Wanna go drive around and really test it out?
Way better. Yeah, he can catch some bad guys in this thing now. Yeah, I think the points must have just worn in or something. Something threw the dwell off a little bit. He's running pretty good now. You know how smooth it is now?
Yeah.
The balance speeds and the tires, that's amazing. I'll be doing that from now on. It's a good thing I'm gonna replace the steering wheel again because I definitely put it on wrong. No complaints. Good little back road cruiser, you know, take it into town. You know, for a big car, it actually handles really well. Would have made a really good cop car. It's got body roll, but it's not that bad. Like, I don't know, just, it feels like you're in control of it. Now, the brakes are a whole nother thing. Like, these brakes are working exactly how they should, and they're terrible. I mean, they are not good. There is not enough stopping power to stop this car. When this car gets up and moves pretty good, and they're not up to task. Not right, that's for sure. I mean, it kind of stumbled, but once it took off, you know, it was good. But this carburetor is not happy. I can tell you what I'm gonna do, probably for temporarily install an aluminum intake, put a 750 Edelbrock on it, and forget it. That'll be better. I mean, this works if you're just driving it, but you know, I want this thing to, you know, I want it to run like it should. And it's not doing bad by any means. I mean, you start moving, boy, 90, 100, I mean, we're cooking. And here's where the brakes really come into play. Oof. Brakes lead a lot. I mean, they'll stop you, like, but I don't know, they don't stop me good enough. My balls aren't big enough. I couldn't have been small town sheriff, you know, cruising around with my Remington 870 doing 120 miles an hour chasing down bad guys and Challengers and Camaro SS's in my 2+2. I don't think I was cut out for that line of work, but I'm glad someone was. You know, for a big car, it doesn't ride that good. Like, it's kind of stiff. Handling's not that bad.
It does throw you over.
It might hold half of a Jeep. I haven't been out this way in a while. Sometimes it's good to just kind of cruise the back roads, like even in your own area, you know. You never know what you might find. This is a good car to do it in, too. And more importantly, we're the only cops around. Car 17. We've got a robbery in progress. We're on it. Turns out the robbery was a hoax. They paid me off. Anyway, dude, this thing is taking everything we're throwing at it. I mean, I have beaten this thing like it owes me money. 160, I don't know. Who knows what that actually means? I think it says 160. It's on the first mark. On temperature, oil pressure is 30 pounds. I mean, it's just a good car. Still running good. Actually seems to be running better and better the more we kind of romp on it and stuff. I kind of want to cruise some more.
Yeah.
Look how good that spotlight works. It's almost like it's daytime out.
Wow.
No. It does work though. Railroad tracks. That could be my exhaust worst enemy. We'll see if it stays on. If not, Union Pacific may end up with some 2.5-inch pipe.
Oh, it's fine.
It did it. Good. Yeah, we're on patrol. I deputized myself. These people don't even know. Respect my authority. You know someone's up to no good around here. One downside to the back roads, you better have some good suspension. I feel the vibes resonating off of this car. They're good vibes. This car would never let me down. I already know that. And I bet it never let the sheriff down either. Yep, that's something you're always going to run into. Jaywalkers. All right. All right. Party's over. Come on now. Put your hands behind your back. It kind of feels like I need to put about 2 more degrees of base timing in it, which I can't. Maybe it's not a carburetor thing, because it runs fine. You know, once that advanced curve comes in, it runs really good. It's just like it needs just a little bit more. And, you know, Pontiacs love timing. I may have to mess with that distributor, I guess. I'll throw a monkey wrench at it and try to break it free or something. Either way, I believe if the odometer can be trusted, which it probably can't, I believe we've driven about 40 miles.
Nice.
And it's been fine.
Well, one thing, we got to park this thing undercover, but I do have a little bit of off-camera work I got to do yet on the lift, and then we can put it in the shop on the lift. With how bad it's leaking, I didn't know it leaked that bad. I don't want to leave it outside anymore, and not until we fix it. Think it'll start back up?
Yes.
Well, that was hard. Over 40 miles of just back roading and beating the tar out of it. It's fine. It ain't puking nothing. It's good to go. I mean, it's, I don't know, good car to use. And that's what the whole goal of this video was turn that from, yeah, we revived it, got it running and driving, to something I can actually use and drive around. And she'll do that. I'm thrilled about it. Tell you what, you'll probably see it again. I think the next things we're going to do to it is a lot of rust repair. Rust repair, body and paint work on this car for sure. This and the Mercury station wagon are going to be the two next restoration projects we do. This car is very deserving of that. Right now, I have to go get ready for Poverty Tour and duct tape drags, which means I got like 2 or 3 little things I got to fix on the Cadillac. And then we're going to hit the road and try to do 3,000 miles in the Cadillac, which, now that we've driven this around, I'm like, maybe I made the wrong decision, because this is a lot better of a car, like way better of a car. Like, it drives better, it's smoother, it runs better, it's faster, probably. I don't know if it's faster. You think?
I don't think so.
Nah, the Cadillac actually is pretty quick, but still, you know, these cars ran low 14s new, and the Cadillac is probably somewhere around there. Yeah, we got to get ready for that. I'm committed at this point. I got to drive the stupid Cadillac now instead of the good car. But this is, I love this car. Like, I could never let it go, and I would be sick if something happened to it. So that did play a role. Anyway, we'll see you guys next time. Please check out polebarnmerch.com. And hopefully I see you in Arizona or on the road.